simultaneously on Facebook. So welcome Facebook out there, check in. And I want you, if you're on here, because we talk to people all across the country and we want to know where you're watching us from or listening to us from. If you could just quickly type in the chat or the Q&A box and let us know, hey, Darlene, Rita, we're watching you from DC, we're in Georgia, we're in Maryland, we're in Las Vegas, wherever you are. And on this series, what we're doing is that we're pulling back the curtains so that you can get an in-depth understanding of your federal benefits you have, or state, county, because they're sort of the same. And we're also looking at, more importantly, your best retirement investment options. Now, you can join us here live if you're listening to us on the phone, or if you're watching us on Facebook and you want to jump on here live with us. Register at www.ritabrolandevents.com. That's RITAB as in Bailey, R as in Roland, OLAND events with an S.com. And of course, if you have a Facebook account, like us on Facebook at Your AB Solutions.
Well, Darlene, we got people checking in from Nashville, Tennessee, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We got DC in the house, Silver Spring, Maryland. We got Virginia over at Kessler Financial. So people are checking.
Right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you all for checking in. And if this is your first time joining us, or just to reiterate for those that join us each week, and we do appreciate you coming back to get this powerful information. Our whole purpose is just to help you understand your habits, the money, your habits around money, your actual money, your spending habits, and then to support and offer solutions that will enable you to reach your financial destination. So I am Darlene Jenkins, one of the co-hosts, and my other co-host there is
Dr. Rita B. Rowland.
Dr. Rita B. Rowland. And you all, yesterday was Rita's birthday, so send her a shout out for Rita's birthday. She doesn't look a day over 25, and I'm going to leave it at that. But also joining us today, we have two special guests, because as you know, Rita and I, we want to make sure we're bringing you the most up-to-date and relevant information, and we bring on experts. And we have two with us today from Kessler Financial. So we have Mr. Pete Buxton.
How are you doing?
And we have Miss Danielle Parks.
Hey.
So thank you all for joining us today. So we're going to just go right on, get started. What I please, as you watch us, this is a disclaimer that we're putting up, because we want you to know that this information is going to be very general in nature. Excuse me. And without knowing your specific information and situation, we can't tailor it to you. But please, as we disseminate this information, what you feel you can apply to your situation, do that. But more importantly, if you want to get a tailor-made plan, reach out to Rita and I so that we can do just that, help you tailor your plan to reach your financial destination. So thank you so much for understanding. And this month is June, and so we're helping, because we're mid-year, you all, paving the road towards retirement. Right, Rita?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we really have to do a mid-year check, whether you're just, and as you see on this road, whether you're just getting started, you're young, you're in the government, or you're just starting on your job, or like you're on here like Darlene, you know, I'm about to leave in 15 minutes if I get an email I don't like. So all of this information is geared towards you. There's something here for everyone. And as we start talking about retirement, looking at our money, Rita and I, we've been talking and, you know, collaborating with the experts we have here on the phone. And we said, you know what? There are some things that are coming up in retirement that a lot of people, although we are aware of it, we don't really understand how it could negatively impact our retirement years. These are supposed to be the golden years, right, you all? So what we're discussing today, and we'll be discussing, you know, over the next few weeks, is how to storm-proof your retirement, because there are some things coming. It's, you know, it's brewing out there. These are the factors that are coming together in the perfect storm. You all remember the movie, The Perfect Storm, right? Well, there's a perfect storm brewing in our retirement picture. And these are the storms that are coming together to have an impact on our money. Number one is inflation. And we're going to address each of these on a weekly basis over the next 5-6 weeks. So inflation, the sequence of returns on your investment, how that's going to affect your money, the stock bubble, the bond bubble for those that are out there that invest conservatively, longevity, we're living longer. How is that going to impact our money? And then when we withdraw our money, the 4% rule, can we really still go by that rule? So these are all of the little miniature cyclones, typhoons, hurricanes, whatever you want to call them, that are coming together and trying to get you. So we're going to build a shelter, you know, help you, show you some techniques and tools to help you build a shelter so that this doesn't, you know, it doesn't blow your house down. Okay.
So, Dr. I'm going to ask something. I think it's so important for us to understand, because when we think of preparedness, so what I'm doing every week for my church is that I'm sending out my church members something every week to be prepared, because I feel like God has already told me that something is coming. And when we think of something coming, we only think of hurricanes, we think of storms, we think of what's happening at, you know, they woke up in Ellicott City and everything was flooded away. So as we prepare on that side, and I know I'm not trying to bring church here, but I think it's important to understand. My pastor always say, so it is in the spirit, it is in the natural. So as it is in the spiritual, or preparing naturally, financially, we have to be prepared. And being prepared isn't just having enough money. Being prepared is understanding all the aspects that could affect our retirement. And this whole perfect storm is just putting in all the little teeny things you may think about them that most people are not thinking about. Most people, when they think of retirement, they think of what day they're leaving and what is their pool of money. But retirement is so much more than just a date on a calendar and a pool of money, and understanding the aspects of it, how to prepare before it, how to prepare during, and what do we do after is so important. And that's why this whole preparation for perfect storm planning is critical, that we be prepared, because prepare allows us to be proactive and not reactive.
Absolutely, Rita. Well said. So we're going to jump in, and the first impact on our funds is going to be inflation. So this is the, you know, and so this is what we're going to look at first, inflation. So this is the perfect example of inflation. Just $20 in 1988, when we were fresh out of school, Rita, remember that? You could get a whole basket full of groceries. You could buy so much with $20 in 2005. As you can see, the basket is not even quite half full. 2013, it's only 3 things in there. 2018, you got 1.5.
Especially if you got Whole Food, you may need to borrow $5.
Right. You know, and if you're trying to eat healthy, that's absolutely right, Rita. You know, just bring your paycheck, one paycheck for groceries, other paycheck for your bills. And what I always, and maybe you all have some other examples too, but what always comes to mind for me is, you know, when we used to go to the movies or catch the bus here in DC, to catch the bus, just a regular bus ride, it was 40 cents. Now, I hope I'm not, well, you all know what age range I'm in, but it was 40 cents. With $1, we could catch the bus to the movies, take in a movie, and buy a cupcake for 10 cents for $1. Now, that is easy, first of all, to catch the bus, depending on where you're coming from. You're probably going to be on the subway. It's still going to be $2.50. Then the matinee is what? $10, $11. Matinee, y'all. Matinee. So that is inflation.
The kids pack is $7.
Right.
I can't even afford regular popcorn. I have to get the kids pack.
Right. All inclusive. That's what I get too, Rita. 2 handfuls of popcorn, 2 cups of juice, and some gummies that are going to tear out our dentures. So, but seriously, in all seriousness, That's inflation. And as we move into retirement, and the other aspects of the perfect storm are going to come into play, because one of the issues is longevity. So we're going to experience inflation longer. That's what's going to happen. So we have to just really be cognizant of the buying power of our money moving forward. Let's see, someone has a comment here.
No, I got him. That's Janelle. She was just saying happy birthday. Tomorrow is Jerry's birthday. So we're gonna sing to you at the end, Jerry. We got you.
Yes, yes. So technical difficulties. Welcome back, y'all. And so here's another example right here. Inflation is like getting a haircut. It's when you pay $15 for the $10 haircut you used to get that you paid $5 for when you had hair. I mean, that sums it up beautifully. Wouldn't you say, Pete and Danielle?
Yes, it would.
Absolutely. So here is we're going to, Pete and Danielle, please feel free, Rita, jump in here.
Absolutely.
Let's look at this, how inflation has impacted us over the last 45 years. So as we look at this chart, you can see, at the peak here, that we had large budget deficits, monetization of the debt. That means the demand, the pool of the money supply, and higher taxes. Higher taxes, that pushes the supply, the monetization of the debt, that pulls the money. Okay? So.
And we noticed that it was in 1970, we had double digits inflation. Double digits. But in 1980, Ronald Reagan began to lower the taxes and he reduced the money supply. So even though the rates and things have gone down, the 45-year average of inflation is 4.18. And many times people don't even talk about inflation. So I have a client today that I'm just trying to fight him to have some awareness. He has about $400,000 in the bank, getting less than 0.5%. I think he has some of it in CDs, and the CDs are earning less than 1%. So, and when I told him about 2 weeks ago, he had this aha moment, even though he's still slow. Pete, I told him that his money is actually losing about $12,000 a year. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, inflation minus your return is 3 point something times your money. That's what you're losing, because you can't even keep up with inflation. And for the first time, he realized, like, I have all of this money sitting here and I'm actually losing money every single year.
Yep. No, that's a great example. I was thinking just now, whenever you all were talking about the shopping cart example, just yesterday, I filled up my truck for $80. When I was in high school, I could put $5 in my gas tank and it would last a week. So the fact that the value has decreased over time, just shows, keeping your money stagnant in a bank is not necessarily the best decision for the long haul.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to bring to the, for my government employees, federal government employees on here, I want to bring to your attention again the fiscal year budget, the proposed 2019 budget changes that are affecting your retirement system. One of the changes is the option for G in the TSP. They're looking at changing how that rate is calculated. Right now, even though the G, that's the safe, those of you, and this again goes back to inflation, the 45-year average is 4.18%. The G fund right now is only paying 1.5%, 2%. Let's just call it 2. Let's give it 2.5%. It's already 2% below the inflation rate. So you're saving at a negative. You have your money parked there. And the changes, the potential changes that are coming, right now the G fund is calculated on a long-term basis, meaning that's why you're getting that 2%. But now they're looking at recalculating it so it's on a short term. All of that means, how much do you earn on your savings account in the bank right now? That's what you're going to be getting in the G fund. So you're getting 0.2, 0.15, and these are your retirement dollars. So you're going to have to start thinking of, how can I better position my money to keep it safe? Because I know that's why you all have it there. You've worked all of these years and you don't want to lose it now here at the end.
Absolutely.
You have it parked, or the majority of it parked in the G. Well, that's going to be a strategy you're going to have to re-examine, because of the way the G fund is now going to earn money. You're going to be losing even more, as Rita gave in the example. Your money is losing as well. So this here, and Pete, please feel free to jump in. This right here is showing the adjusted monetary base, meaning how much money was actually put out in, was printed and put into the system, correct?
Yeah, so if you hit the next slide, it basically shows that there has been a 388% increase in the last 6 years, which means that the value of our money is really shrunk. It's nothing. And one of the things that's so important, that many of us, we get caught up in the politics. That was during Obama years, just doing Trump, or no, it happened when it was Bush. And we so caught up in the wrong thing, is that it doesn't matter who's in the House. That doesn't matter who is our president, our Congress. Planning for retirement has always been 40 to 60% of your income is dependent on what you do. So it doesn't matter who's in the house. What we need to do is pay attention to the number, and understanding that inflation is so high, the monetary base is changing. We don't have any money in the country. Let's just be clear. The country doesn't have any money. Everything is changing. Social Security, the Medicare. Is important for us to understand this from a financial Warren Buffett state of mind, so that we can then prepare. So when you go to the next slide, we're going to talk about why annuities is so important, because as you think about your entire portfolio of retirement income, if Darlene gets to that slide, I'll show you that. And I put annuities on the butt of the pig, because it always got to pull up the rear. Because we think about, the top, you got this covering with Social Security. Many people, Social Security is like that thing that even though they talk about it, and I have to, we call it so insecure. But tell you what, I'm looking forward to getting my Social Security check when I get there. It is a half of a check or 3/4 of a check. I want my check. But understanding that those things, and most of us don't even have a pension. So unless you work for the government, or maybe some old, the railroad or some company, there are no more pensions out here. So if you look at the nose, the face is a 401k IRA. These are the things that we have to do on our own. So it's saying it's up to you to truly prepare. And then what's going to hold us together for many of you is understanding how annuities will play a major role in you making sure that you have an income for the rest of your life. I'm not sure about you guys. I don't have any children. I love my husband. He's older. I am really concerned about what it's going to look like for Rita at 70. So because that's a concern for me, what we do every Friday and every time we sit down with you is helping you prepare for the old one. So annuities become critical for me for my retirement planning, because I don't want to be the one to say I want a fixed income and I don't have enough money. I want a fixed income that's going to be enough.
Exactly. And Rita, just to bring the annuities back to those, to our federal workers here online and on Facebook, an annuity is how they pay out your pension.
Mm-hmm.
That's how powerful they are. So if you're getting a FERS check or civil service retirement check, that's an annuity. And often people will say, oh, well, my annuity, but they don't think of it outside of that box. And that's what we're trying to get you to do. Their annuities are very powerful. That's why they pay you out that way, your pension. So now at this point, let's look at a strategy to help combat the inflation risk. And as Rita said, how annuities can help keep the storm off your doorstep.
Great. So I'm going to share my screen here.
Mm-hmm.
So here you'll see one of the products that Darlene and Rita have access to. It is a nationwide product that is teamed up with JP Morgan. Many of you are aware JP Morgan's a huge household name. It's probably 80% of you all somehow it's tied to your mortgage, somehow tied to your car loan. So this is a very well-known, well-branded product that Nationwide has teamed up with. So the blue line here symbolizes the S&P, the market per se that you all are well aware of, the highs and the lows. You can see here in 2000, 2001 when the dot-com bubble hit and it took a dip, in the 2008, 2009 housing crisis. Well, this green line is the actual return for the JP Morgan Mosaic Index. So it's essentially ended up in the same spot as the S&P as of 2017. It just had a much smoother, steadier growth. So this is a tool or a vehicle that will help you hedge against inflation and maintain that purchasing power over a long period of time. So like Darlene was saying, you've worked hard for your money. Now you don't want to lose it. So with this product, there is no downside risk, meaning you cannot lose what you've invested into this product. And essentially you're not riding the roller coaster. You're riding the ski lift up to the top. So you're not having these sleepless nights in 2000, 2001 or 2002, 2008, 2009. Slow, steady growth with an average 6.30. This was as of 2017. I think it's 6.8 now for an average. And Darlene and Rita can get in a little more in depth with you later on in the discussion. But the nice thing is yes, it's producing 6.3. But I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. We have to offer you 130% of that. We're not going to give you 6.3%. So like a couple slides back, the historical average for returns was 4.18. Sorry, for inflation was 4.18. This is maintaining with inflation, actually beating inflation. So.
And I think, Pete, what's so important, what he said, if you guys listen, is that the average is 6.3, but many people are afraid to go to annuity because you want still that good return. You want to make sure that your money is still doing what it was doing when it's in the market. Well, here's a place where you can get pretty much what this is saying. We're right there, and at 130%, we're actually above what the annual return is from the S&P without the worry.
Without
the monetary, and knowing that your money is safe and having it in a vehicle that can guarantee your income for life. So when you add those three together, to me, it wipes out having it just in the market. You got it somewhere where you're getting the same return, having guaranteed income, and you can sleep at night. Sleep is important for our health. So
yes.
Absolutely, Rita. Absolutely. And you have,
trust me, I know that this morning is important for your health.
Absolutely. And you have the best of both worlds. Your money is safe, but you're still getting the growth you need to combat inflation. So I'm going to ask you, which of these retirement pictures would you prefer? As soon as it'll work. Do you want this? See, these chairs are still at the beach, but they got caught in the storm. Or is this the picture you would prefer? You prepared, they're at the beach also, but what we don't see is the big bubble around them keeping the storm off of their doorstep. And that's what annuities can do for you. And as Pete just went over, the Nationwide annuity has been steady, growing, and they've teamed up, with the JP Morgan Mosaic. So that's a win-win altogether. So how can we help? You may ask. We can help with your life planning because as Rita and I always go over, we take a holistic approach. We're not just looking at one aspect of your life. We're looking at everything. So with help, your budgeting, very, very important. That also determines how much you're actually able to put away for retirement. Also, your account management, helping with your IRAs, determining what strategies you should have, as well as your portfolio management. What type of financial products should you have, considering, tax consequences when you're investing and things like that. So Rita and I and the ABS team is here. Also, we want to give a shout out, Rita, I don't know if you did this last week, to our other team member that's on the line and on Facebook, Miss Javon Jackson. Recently married, and she's our team there in Baltimore, and Mr. Robert Bailey on holding me and Rita down in the office here in DC. So I wanted to.
Yay, Robert.
Yes,
He's not my husband. He's not my husband. He's my brother.
Yes. That's her brother. So we have an awesome team here that is devoted to helping you. And we have experts, because I know it may seem like Rita and I have all of the answers, but you know what? We don't. And that's why we defer to experts so that we can get the answers that are best for you. So what's going to be right for you? We don't know. That's why we need to sit down with you. Contact us today so we can map out a plan for you. So as we always say, Rita, planning is bringing the future
to the present so that you can do something about it now. So as you look out at your older age, who do you want to be responsible? I need to prepare for her so that the old lady is not cursing out the young one because I ain't doing enough to take care of her. And that's at the end of the day, it is up to us to take care of ourselves. And so planning allows us to do that. And I want to be the couple right there holding hands, walking the beaches of the world with no cares in the world. Absolutely.
Absolutely, Rita. That is right. I'm going to be walking the beach as well. I'm going to leave it at that. But if you don't yes. Y'all help me out there now. But seriously, and if you don't look out into the future and start planning today, then the couple here on the left, your right, that has the 2 children, then you need to you here on the line, on this webinar, on Facebook, on the phone. If you're not preparing, then that means your retirement plan is someone else helping you. And you should at least give those people the common courtesy of letting them know that they are a part of your retirement plan, that they are going to be helping to take care of you. So please reach out, give us a call. We're here for you. Yeah, I mean, that's real. If you're not preparing, you're preparing someone else to take care of you or to assist and take care of you. So reach out. Contact Rita and I and the ABS team. We can be reached at 301-577-6340, or you can always email us at info@yourabsolutionsInc.com. For those of you on the webinar, you see our information here. That was for all of my listeners on the phone, because we appreciate you and we want to make sure you get all the information you need as well. So let us help chart your course. We're here at ABS. Rita, we're here every week to help you. Reach out, take advantage of your resources. So we thank you for joining us. Do not take your attendance for granted. Go ahead.
Stop. We got to sing happy birthday. You can't. So Pete, and I need y'all to help us. So now, Jerry, I am not a professional.
I am, Jerry.
She's not. But we're going to do this for you. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Go, Jerry. It's your birthday. Go, Jerry. It's your birthday.
It's your birthday. Go, Jerry. So have a wonderful day tomorrow. And if there's some others on the line, and you didn't let us know it was your birthday, that birthday was for you as well. So please come back next week. We have more of the perfect storm to go over. Next week, we're going to look at how the sequence of returns will affect your retirement, especially when you're in retirement. So you don't want to miss that. When you come back next week, don't come along, bring 2 with So join us here next Friday, 10 a.m., and we will see you next week on the broadcast. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you. If you have any questions, please type them in. We're not just throwing you off here. If you have questions, type them in. Now is the time.
And thank you again to Pete and Danielle. We thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for having us. I just wanted to reiterate to all the listeners, this is a team here. So just know that there's plenty of resources here to help all of you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, Rita, any questions on Facebook? We don't want to
questions.
Our Facebook family. Hey, Sheridan, thank you for jumping on. Hey, Tamara.
Nope, I don't see any questions. No,
Okay.
no questions. I think they're excited for the weekend. Y'all, I'm going to party all weekend. Yeah. I got my bowl of coffee.
Yes. Okay, you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next week on the broadcast.
Thanks again.
All right, thank you, Pete. Thank you, Danielle.
Yeah, bye.